Hello, this is Billy Core from the Carolina Circle Mall Wiki. Today is Thursday, September the 12th of 2013, and I've been meaning to do this video for about a month now. Here is part 3 of my FAQ answers. Now, again, I apologize. It's been a very busy month for me, so really haven't had time to get around to doing this, but I guess now is a good time to resume. In fact, this might be the last one. I don't know. Depends on how many more questions there are. So here we go. David Myers asked, have you used a computer with an SSD in it? What do you think about SSDs? Do you like them or not like them? Well, to answer your question, I have never used one with an SSD, but from what I have heard, they are wonderful little devices. In fact, I'm actually in the market for one. I'm looking into getting one of those Samsung drives that are popular these days. As a matter of fact, my main computer here, which, well, not the Packard Bell, but over here, I noticed my 500 gigabyte boot drive only has 20 gigabytes left of storage, so I gotta do something as soon as possible. So once I get some more money, I'm gonna have to buy a new, storage drive, which I'm looking at a 2 terabyte Seagate drive, and at the same time I'm also going to see if I can get an SSD to go along with it to replace the boot drive. And from what I've seen, yes, I love SSDs. Miss Fatonery the Herm asked, have you played Planescape Torment? It's the best Windows 95 game ever. Well, to be perfectly honest, I have not played that. In fact, I've never heard of that game. I'll have to look that up and see what it's like, but thanks for the suggestion. Polygon 6789, it's another multi-part, multi-question question First, he asked, do you own any game consoles? Yes, but surprisingly, I do not own any modern game consoles. The game consoles I own at the moment is a Nintendo 64, which I've had since 1997, a Super Nintendo, an original NES, which needs a new connector, a game connector for it. I need to get around to replacing that, and a Model 1 and a Model 2 Sega Genesis. So I haven't played any of them in a while, but I really need to get them out going sometime, and I really see no use right now for a modern game console for me. I might get a Nintendo Wii or a Wii U, because those seem to be the best game consoles in my opinion for me personally, so that's probably what I'd get if I was in the market for one. He also asked, how many total computers have you gone through? Oh, gee. Considering all the computers I've gotten at Value Village over the years, and before and after from other places, I've just lost count. I know, as far as Packard Bells are concerned, I counted it yesterday. I've owned 20 Packard Bells in my life since 1995, so as far as Packard Bells are concerned, I've owned at least 20 of them. Okay, and final question is, would you buy a modern Packard Bell if they were shipping in the U.S.? Well, if they were built well, then yes. It depends on how well Acer is handling them over in Europe, and if they have the same quality, good or bad, over here. So yeah, that's pretty much my answer there. UltraDo96 asked, have you heard anything about Windows 8.1, and if so, what's your opinion on it? Well, actually, I'm just going to wait till they come out with Windows for Workgroups 8.11, and if that's not any good, I'm just going to wait till 2015 when they come out with Windows 15. Yeah. Gabe asked, what do you think of, oh boy, why do we have to go here? What do you think of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic? Sorry, tongue sticking out smiley face. Well, I'm not here to judge anyone's interest in a particular television show or anyone's interest in something, but I just find it incredible that of something that back in like the 80s was originally intended for little girls is now and it still is intended for little girls nowadays, is now popular amongst boys, and even more strangely enough, geeky 30-year-old guys who live in their mother's basement. So, and I've never really seen an episode. I guess it's okay, but yeah, that's about all I know of it right now. CRT Man asked, what is the model number of your Packard Bell CRT monitor and when was it manufactured? Well, I'm probably going to kill myself doing this, but let's find out. Okay. Send this junk out of the way. Okay. It is a Packard Bell 1020 monitor, and it was manufactured January of 1996. And this monitor actually originally came with the with that Packard Bell Multimedia F170 I used to have at one time, and what I love about this monitor is that it's in mint condition and it still works perfectly after over 17 years, so very, very good. Okay, John Lee asked, hey Billy, my first PC was a Packard Bell Multimedia R531. It had Windows 95 on it. Have you ever used one of those? No, but I've used similar Packard Bells from that era. I'm pretty sure yours was from around 1997, probably when they were phasing out Navigator 3.9 and replacing it with Navigator Assistant, that little cheesy little toolbar. But to answer your question, no, I haven't, but I have used similar ones to that. Okay, Gaston, well, I'm not going to say his name, it's got a cuss word in it. We'll just call you Gaston. He asked, why do you filter comments? If somebody wants to call me an idiot, I'll let them. Well, that's kind of hard to explain. I've had so many trolls and bullies come after me the last couple of years on my channel that it's gotten so bad that I pretty much have to moderate comments, because you never know when a troll comment will sneak in somewhere, so I need to be extra careful. And he has a second question which kind of goes along with that. Am I autistic? Well, maybe, maybe not. Back in 2001, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, and then in 2003, my parents took me to a psychiatrist here in Greensboro, and he said I did not have Asperger's syndrome, and that's what we've gone by the last 10 years. However, past couple of years I've noticed I've been doing a lot of stuff that shows signs of symptoms of Asperger's syndrome, so I am about 90% sure I have Asperger's. It's just undiagnosed at the moment. I need to see a doctor about that, so we'll just take it from there, okay? Jake Sampson asked, how did you get a mug with your face on it when you were a kid? Very interesting question, actually, and here's the mug for those who haven't really seen it up close. This picture was taken in June of 1992. I was 2 years old, and the reason I keep this around is I don't know if you can recognize the setting and the surroundings in this picture, but that, my friends, is Carolina Circle Mall. This was made at a kiosk at the mall, where you could put your picture on a mug or a T-shirt or something, and I made this for my dad for Father's Day in 1992. So yeah, that's why I kind of keep it around, because it's a little bit of Carolina Circle Mall related memorabilia. And lately I've been keeping it up top of my Packard Bell, so it's there to see pretty well. Okay, Adam Fitzpatrick asked, what is your favorite operating system? Well, I think I've asked this previously, but it is none other than Windows 95. It was the first operating system I ever owned. It was the operating system I learned to use a computer on, so it has a lot of nostalgia power to me. Plus, in itself, it's a very, very sturdy operating system and can run just about any program or game made in the mid-90s, whether it was for Windows 3.1 or 95, it'll run. Okay, Skyloft Link asked, are you going to get your original 822 CDT back from your dad's friend? Well, it may happen, it may not happen. I'm pretty sure one of these days my dad's going to call about it, but be honest with you, I really don't have my hopes up. It was given away 13 years ago, and there's no telling what may have happened to it in the past decade and 3 years, but if it doesn't happen, hey, I've still got another 822 right here, so, which is pretty much identical, and there's really no difference, although one thing I would like to have back from my original 822 is all the paperwork and software that came with it. That would be nice. Okay, JP Leg Alman 85 asked, what is your favorite game? Well, I have a lot of games I like to play on a regular basis, all of them usually running on this Packard Bell back here. I'd say my favorite game of all time would have to be Earthworm Jim. I had so much fun playing that back then. It was such a funny game as well, especially the Big Broody level when that giant blind dinosaur, which I thought was a frog back then, would eat Earthworm Jim and all you'd see was his leg hanging out. And he also asked, do I have a girlfriend? Why, yes, I do. Laura, dear, where are you? Where are you, Laura? Where are you? Hi, Billy. How are you doing today? Wait a minute, am I really going here? Seriously, no, I do. Seriously, though, no, I don't have a girlfriend. It would be nice, but I really don't think this is the time God wants me to have a girlfriend right now, although I do know God has the perfect woman for me, and I am very excited about that. I don't know who she is, but if it's blessed by God, I know we're going to have a wonderful relationship. And also, why do you filter comments on your videos? Well, I've answered that a while ago. I've been trolled and bullied so many times over the past couple of years, I pretty much have to make sure nothing slips in by mistake, so just a little bit of crowd control there, I guess. Okay, Kindred Momerency asked, hi, I am Kindred, and I am wondering if you can sell a computer to me. Well, sometimes I have computers for sale, sometimes I don't, and I always sell them on eBay. In fact, I've got an old Toshiba laptop with Windows 95 on eBay that I just listed earlier this afternoon, so I'll see if I can get you a link to it sometime if you're interested. Okay, scroll up here. Alright, another multi-question one. Snoopy... Okay, not that one. I felt like it's 64 asked, and it's another multi-question one. First question is, why don't you have an Apple Mac in your vintage computer collection and or a main computer? It makes me feel sad that you don't have such a glorious computer. Is there something you don't like about them? Actually, I really do like Apple computers. As for a modern one, I would absolutely love to have one, especially a 2012 era MacBook Pro, but the thing is, they are so dang expensive that I just can't afford one. Well, that just scared the crap out of me. What is it? Oh, my friend Jay Wakefield, Video San Frontier, was linking me to a YouTube video, it looks like. I have to check that out after this video. But back to your question, and as for classic Apple computers, I actually have two. I got a Power Mac G3, which needs a little bit of TLC, and a another Power Mac, an older one. I forget the exact model number, but I got it up and running, and it works just fine. I just got it up in storage at the moment because I really don't have any room to use it at the moment, but sometime I'll do a video about it and the G3, so stay tuned. Second question is, any early 90s Packard Bell computers? That Statesman doesn't count. Legend 386 maybe? Well, I know a lot of people have these Packard Bells. In fact, my good friend Matthew has a 486 multimedia one from 1993. I would like to have one of these days. They're just for collection's sake, but right now, unless one pops up at Value Village for a good price, I'm really in no hurry to get one. But don't get me wrong, they are very, very wonderful computers as well. And his last question is, would you get an Axel series mid-90s Packard Bell? Mine is the Axel 251 CD Plus. It looks almost exactly like your Legend 1510 Supreme. Well, the thing about Packard Bell model series in the mid-90s is that they were all over the place. I am led to believe that maybe certain stores sold certain models. I know anything that has the word Supreme in it was definitely sold at Sears and nowhere else. The Axel series, I believe they were really no different from like a Legend series or even a multimedia series, but I'm sure they are just as good. Okay, Michael Medbury asked, have you heard of a game from the 90s called Titanic Adventure Out of Time? If so, what are your thoughts on the game? Did you play it? Again, I have actually never heard of that game, but it sounds very intriguing, and if I ever find it, I'll definitely give it a try. Okay, Kamadir1 asked, hey Billy, I was wondering, why don't you ever manage your Facebook page? Well, I don't know what Facebook page you're talking about, but I know my Rogue Geek on YouTube page, I usually keep it up pretty well, pretty frequently. I know lately it's usually whenever I post a new video or I'm about to do a show on Rockin' Waves. But yeah, I do keep it managed quite well, and I even have some other admins helping me out as well. And another question he has is, what operating systems have you used? Well, I've used quite a bit. I've used Windows 3.1. I think I can safely say I've used every version of Microsoft Windows ever made. And I've used a little bit of Linux here and there, and I've used a little bit of Mac OS here and there. So I've been around the past 18 years, I guess. Nikon is asked, would you trade stuff with your subscribers? I have some very old Tandys and other computers, as well as a massive retro gaming collection that I would love to trade for some nostalgic computer goodness. Well, if you have anything that intrigues me, and I have something I don't need anymore that you want, we'll see if we can work out some kind of deal. And that goes for not just you, but everyone watching my videos. If you ever want to trade me for something, if I have something I want to get rid of, and you have something that you want to get rid of that I find interesting, we'll see what we can do. Okay, Bunkers8399 asked, what happened to your office? Well, unfortunately, the office is no more. My dad decided that he wants to start doing some workshop-related stuff, so I graciously decided to let him have the office back, and I believe he's at some point he's going to let me have a little bit of it back. I might put a computer or two out there to use, and if he lets me, I might even turn it into a 90s room, so complete with a Packard Bell, an old game console, and a VCR. So we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, V Westlife asks, do you like Cheerwine soda? A friend of mine loves it and always gets some when he's in North Carolina. Yes, I really do like Cheerwine soda. I haven't had any in a while, but it is really, really good. I know you can get them in glass bottles nowadays, just like in the old days, but I'm not sure if I've tried one of those yet. I really need to. He also asked, do you have a significant other? Well, again, I do not at the moment. I'm I know it's not that I don't want a girlfriend, I do, but I just feel right now is not the time. So, but like I said, that's only temporary. And what kind of music do you like? Very good question. I love any kind of music made from the 1950s to the 1990s, except for rap. I love oldies music, and I just love music that has a good beat to it. And I cannot stand, and I'm serious about this, I cannot stand almost any kind of music made in the 2000s or the 2010s. It sounds like complete garbage to me. That's just my opinion, but modern music stinks to me. Oop, wrong key. Actually, first let me get a swig of this. Where was I? Red Kit Tutorial 64 asked, "Hey Billy, could you show us a video performing an upgrade from Windows 98 to Windows XP on any of your Packard bells that you have?" Well, I have this rule. It's just a little personal rule I have, that on a mid-90s Packard bell like I have behind me, the only two operating systems I will ever use on it are Windows 3.1 and Windows 95. Even if it's an early Pentium era, like a 100 megahertz, I just refuse to install Windows 98 on it. It just doesn't seem right to me, so unfortunately I'm unable to do that. The Steve Geek asked, "Do you like NT4 or 95? Hands down 95, because NT4, the Windows NT infrastructure nowadays, ever since Windows 2000, is really good. Anything can run on it. But back in the days of NT4, it was very picky about what you could run on it, especially when it came to games. Plus, NT4 really didn't have any plug-and-play support, surprisingly. So when it comes to old mid-90s computers, I just think Windows 95 is the way it goes, so you can run just about anything you want. Okay, Mystery Person MH asked, "Hi Billy, aka Road Geek. I'm going to be asking you questions about girls and dating." Oh boy. "Let me get started by saying we ladies do see you, and yes, we do find you attractive." Gosh. "Us chicks that are fans want to know some things about you, so here we go." Oh boy. "If you had a girlfriend, where would you take her on dates?" Well, I'd probably take her out for pizza or something at a nice Italian restaurant. I know we've got the Macaroni Grill here in Greensboro. It's really nice. Or some real nice Chinese food. And she also asked, have I ever been kissed? Well, I've never really had a girlfriend before, so no, I have not been kissed, but like I said, it's only temporary. I am going to get a girlfriend someday, but now's not the time, I think. And what color hair and eyes do you like? Well, I think women or anyone of any gender or special the way they are. So I really don't go for looks or anything. I just go for personality and kindness. But I sort of like brown hair and brown eyes for some reason. And does height or weight play a factor in who you date? Again, no. I don't think looks. I don't go for looks in a girl. I go for personality and kindness. That's what I look for. And finally, does she have to like computers? Well, not really. Even if she doesn't like computers, that is perfectly okay with me. I mean, I'd love to have some interest shared between us, but she doesn't have to like everything I like. Okay, wow, only 2 questions left. DW Joker 23 asks, do you still collect computers? Well, yes and no. I've really decided to cut back on my computer collecting, especially since I got my childhood computer back. especially when it comes to desktops, I just don't have the room to store so many computers anymore. So right now, I only want to collect computers that I know I will use and that have special value to me, especially with desktops. And now laptops, I wouldn't mind collecting a few more of those since they really don't take up a whole lot of space. And our last question, wow, I can't believe it. IAG37 asked, a while ago on one of your Packard Bells you had a dual boot with Windows 95 and Windows 98. I've been trying for a while to dual boot 2 Windows 9X OSs and I have not been successful. So I was wondering, how do you dual boot 2 Windows 9X OSs such as 95 and 98? Well, the thing is that Windows 95 and 98 share the same code base. Even though they're 2 different operating systems, they run on the same code and on the same partition table and everything. So if you install Windows 95 and then install Windows 98 again, your computer's probably going to freak out. Now that doesn't mean you can't do it at all. What you need to do is you need to get some partitioning software and a bootloader or something, a utility like a Cronus OS selector or partition commander. That's how I usually dual boot 2 Windows 9X OSs. So keep an eye out for some good partitioning software, cause that will definitely help you out there. And wow, we are done. I cannot believe this. And just in the nick of time, my low battery indicator just popped up. So again, guys, God bless all of you. Thank you to all of my subscribers for watching me over the years. And I'm glad I was able to answer a lot of questions you may have had for me over the years, and I hope I answered them in a way that you appreciated. So I gotta see if I can get my 2013 custom built go up and running again. So I will see you after that. For now, this is Billy Core signing off on September 12th of 2013. Goodbye.